How many years you have been practicing meditation? I said, since I was a novice, or before that, yeah. As Venerable Andrew introduced to you, that I was novice when I was 14 years old, but I was 14 years old, and practice to chant, practice to bow down, to learn the manner to be a monastic practitioner. We start today with the chanting. Somebody may doubt why you put me to tradition if you have learned from that school also. When you go to the temple, Master will parts of the body we call benjang kapadit. But in Tibetan tradition, you have to put your body to the floor, 8 parts of the body, up and down, at least 108 times to your mind. Because your ordinary mind is mixed with greed, hatred, and delusion. And the important thing is in the morning until evening, more than 100 times each day. Let the people show respect to the Buddha, wake up early in the morning. Before they put the robe on, have to bow down to the robe first. Before go to the bintabat, you take the bowl to receive. So tutiyampi, tatiyampi means to make sure that, okay, I commit myself to go to the Buddha, go to the Dhamma, go to the Sangha as my refuge, as your refuge. Okay, and then take the 5 precepts to refrain from, you can break all. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. That's very important. I undertake the 5 precepts. Don't take drugs, alcohol, or intoxicants. That means it destroy your mindfulness. That's a very important, the number 5 in the 5 precepts. 2, and number 3, you can do the sexual misconduct or adultery. Number 3, and number 4, the society will be very peaceful, very good place to live together. No harm to each other, and no harm yourself too. So before we take the class of meditation, first of all, you have to take the precept first, because the precept is like the foundation of your mind, the base. Before you step down from the first step to the 9th step, you have to first take the precept first. Okay, to spend at least one night, one day with us, and then you will gain the experience, direct experience from the practice. Okay, so the first step, you take care your bodily action and verbal action by the sila. Observe your mind, your thought. When you're sitting meditation, you look at the activity of your mind. What's going on inside when you're sitting? What happens? So when we're sitting meditation, we focus the mind. See the mind. See your thought. Exercise, treadmill, walk on the treadmill, or run or jump or whatever. But in our tradition, there's no need the space. You sit at home, or sit in Buddha hall, or sit in the office, or walk down the street, aware of your thought. We establish mindfulness, but first we have to calm the mind first. Hard or soft or gentle all fine. You know that. And the third one, your abdomen rising when you breathe in. So at least you have to know 3 points. When you breathe in, start in the nostril, your chest move, and your abdomen or your stomach rising. And then automatically when you breathe in, then you have to breathe out. If you're not, you die. You have to breathe out. So also you breathe out, you have to know 3 points also. When you breathe in, end of breathe in abdomen, and then up next second it will be the start of breathe out. You have to know the start of breathe out. And then number 2, your chest, just expand your chest. And then again, the touching of your nostril. The air out, but it's not cool air, it will be warm air. See? When somebody talk bad to you, condemn you, and then your mind just go down. See? Go up and go down like this is a normal mind, normal people. Then when we practice meditation, we try to cultivate mindfulness and cultivate the balance. Put the mind in the zero, not to go plus, not to go down to minus, not to go to the positive or negative, but go to the neutral, zero. Zero. Means you accept even good and bad. You have to go, right? Try to get away from the bad thing and want the good thing. Try to get away from suffering and want that happiness. But Buddha said, no, you cannot run away from suffering, because suffering and happiness is the one thing, like the one coin but different side. Sukha and dukkha. Suffering and happiness is same coin, different side. When you feel happy, means your suffering is small suffering. You have more happiness. When you have small happiness, then you have more suffering. Just go like this, up and down, like this. So, but people like happiness, right? And it has been asked so many times from Westerners, why Buddha talk only suffering? Why they don't talk about happiness? And they quite complain me. So I try to explain, do you know what is suffering? You know what is happiness? They don't know exactly what it is. So we have to learn. In Buddhism, there is nothing, only accept and let it go. Accept it and let it go. If you not accept it, means you try to run away, but you cannot, because it is the universal law. It's not belong to Buddhists, it's not belong to the Buddha. This is law, universal law. But Buddha himself, he just the one who immersed himself to found it. He sought this technique 6 years when he left the palace, when he was 29 years old, ordained as an ascetic at those time. Practice, practice, and practice. And then he found it. He found the way that we call the middle way, Majjhima Patipatha, the middle way, the eightfold path. Everybody can suffering and extreme happiness mean zero or emptiness, voidness, nothing. Nothing that's the extreme. I cannot call happiness because the beyond happiness. Because if I call happiness, means it's turned to suffering sometime. But nirvana means above suffering and happiness. Okay? So there is nothing, only accept and let it go. Then we come to the temple to learn how to overcome greed, hatred, and delusion. So, the first of all, you have to know yourself. Know yourself means you know, cross your legs or sit on the cushion on the okay, and your hands. Some people back to your breath. Try to take a deep in breath, then medium. But for meditation practitioners, I like you to breathe in long. Just try to breathe in daily life. Just breathe in until you feel your abdomen rising. When you breathe in, just breathe in long, stop a little bit, and then release out. Pay attention to your nostril. Take a deep in breath and try to empty your breathe out long too. When you hear the sound, just hear it and let it go and back. Yeah, just hear it and let it go. Put your hand down. Down. Okay, put your hand down to your side. Right? And don't go too far because it will out of balance. Okay? Your space should be like this. Look at my foot. Normal. Okay? Don't focus on the breath at this time. This time your mind is in your foot. Mean pay attention. I would say intending to walk until we reach the distance. With the distance about 10 to 15 space, when you reach the distance, standing 3 times, standing 4, 5, 6. Okay? That's it. And then walk it 15 minutes and come back to walk 15 minutes. So 2 rounds. To compare between sitting first, between the last one, and then walking too. So if your mind stays still, means you'll go to your concentrations, go to touch the peace of mind. This is the first stage. Or 5 minutes. You can focus your mind, focus your breathing, Appana Samadhi, then you can sit all day. Or in the ancient time, we sit for 7 days. No food, no drink,